Whoa, what an afternoon at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough recording a 4-0 victory over Preston North End to keep the pressure up at the top of the Championship table. It was an absolutely stunning afternoon. I mean, to be fair, Preston were shocking. Preston were probably the worst team that I've seen at the Riverside, definitely this season, maybe even a little bit further back than that, because they were just absolutely woeful. They had a really good start to the game, 2 minutes where they had 4 chances, had a penalty shout for a handball on Matt Target, which, looking at the replays, didn't look like it was a penalty, and they didn't have another shot for the rest of the game. 88 minutes without a game, where Middlesbrough were just in absolute cruise control. Looked like we were good value during the match. Kim Hellberg spoke after the match and he was talking about how happy he was with Middlesbrough's attacking play in terms of the intensity of it. We had Tommy Conway in attack. Leo Castledine came into the team for his first start for Middlesbrough, which was great to see. He did really well. As well on the left-hand side, we had Hayden Hackney playing in a slightly more advanced role. Morgan Whittaker on the right. Alan Brown, of course, was pushing forward. Middlesbrough's goal machine found the back of the net once again. His third goal in 4 games, which is pretty incredible. Tommy Conway bagging 2 goals as well. 3 goals in his last 2 games for him, and of course Morgan Whittaker finding the back of the net as well. A really well taken goal. But I think a lot of the goals came from Preston mistakes more than anything. I think Middlesbrough did do well in the attacking third. We were ruthless on the attack. We certainly made them pay for their mistakes, but a lot of it was self-inflicted from Preston's point of view, because they were just absolutely shocking. They were playing a really high line. They were caught out, particularly Tommy Conway's first goal with Luke Ayling playing the ball over the top and finding him. They were just completely caught out by that. There were then the mistakes at the back. Morgan Whittaker's goal came from a lapse in defensive judgment, concentration, whatever you want to call it, which capitalised on that. Of course, Preston then went down to 10 men in the second half as well from another mistake forced by Tommy Conway, and it was just Tommy Conway was just absolutely loving it. He sort of really thrives on creating panic in opposition defences by pressing people and harrying them and that sort of thing, and he just did exactly that, and it was the perfect game for Tommy Conway. Preston just not knowing how to handle Middlesbrough, not knowing how to handle him, and just Middlesbrough just had so much time, so much space. And yes, it was 4-0. It could have been a lot more if Middlesbrough had decided to be more ruthless in the second half, but of course they did sort of ease off. But even in second gear, they were still creating a lot of chances and could have had more in the way of goals. But it was a really good afternoon from a results point of view. Kim Hellberg came out after the game, spoke about how delighted he was. He said it was really fun to watch his team. He was speaking about how pleased he was with the intensity of Middlesbrough's attack, saying that it's kind of, he was asked whether it was sort of a performance which was indicative of what he wants from Middlesbrough's attack in terms of the goals, but in terms of the intensity and that sort of thing. And he did say that that was something that he's looking for all the time, and I think particularly against Preston it was really good to see them do that. Castledine did well off the left. He's a really physical player. He's got immense quality. We've seen that from his time at Huddersfield and how well he did there, but he's also a really physical player, someone who battles hard and that sort of thing as well. And I think we're really just kind of starting to see the clear depth that Middlesbrough have got in attack at the moment. A couple of other points from the press conference. Kim Hellberg, speaking about Adolfo Malanda, said that he was fine. It was that challenge was an absolute slobber knocker. It was absolutely laid out on the floor, but thankfully no injury. Doesn't look like there's any concussion or anything. Kim Hellberg didn't seem to think that he was going to be facing any sort of spell out really. He might just be a little bit sore. I said there might have been something with his tooth as well, but nothing that's going to rule him out. Matt Target came off in the second half as well, but again, nothing really to worry about there. It sounds like Matt Target's been nursing something for a little while anyway. And I asked him as well about Dale Fry and his return to the team and how important that was, and I think Kim Hellberg just sounds absolutely delighted to have Dale back in the mix, back in the team with his leadership and that sort of thing, but also to have another quality option in central defence. If you see me looking over my shoulder, it's because there's a swarm of seagulls around, and I'm scared that they're going to come and peck me, so that's why I'm looking anxiously over my shoulder. But yeah, Kim Hellberg absolutely delighted. Paul Heckingbottom in his press conference, really not very happy with his Preston team, unsurprisingly. Said that while Middlesbrough undoubtedly deserved the win, they were undoubtedly the better team. He said it was all very self-inflicted. Hard to argue with that when you're looking at the goals. But yeah, I think when you look at Middlesbrough's attacking players and the way that we set up in this game, it's really exciting going into the second half of the season. I think that that attacking quartet, of having Hayden Hackney and Morgan Whittaker, Leo Castledine, Tommy Conway was really good. And then obviously off the bench we had Delano Bergsall coming on. We had Sammy Silvera, we had Riley McGree, which was great as well. We've then got people like Cali Sen and David Strelic, who when they come back to fitness, they'll be in that mix as well. It does sort of beg the question about people like Sverri Nipan and Micah Hamilton as well, because I just can't see them getting any game time. I mean, this game was done and dusted on like the hour mark, and they still didn't get on the pitch. They didn't get any game time, didn't get any minutes, and it's just really hard to see where that game time is going to come from for those players in particular. Sanjay Hansen as well. I said Micah Hamilton, he wasn't on the bench, that's why he wasn't involved, but Sanjay Hansen was on the bench, didn't get on the pitch again, and you just start to think that maybe these players will be surplus to requirements this month. Nipan potentially could head back to Man City, maybe go out on another loan. Sanjay Hansen just seems like it's not quite working for him at Middlesbrough, so potentially he could be someone who is who's gonna maybe there'll be something to happen with him this month, whether it be a loan away or whatever it sort of is. But I do think there's a decision to be made there, because we've just got so many quality attacking options in there at the moment, and that's really exciting for Middlesbrough. I think we certainly need it as we move into the latter part of the season, as we move into the second half of it, where results are so important. It's great to have so many options and so many players who are contributing to that attack as well. But of course there's also the imminent arrival of Jeremy Sarmiento. There's been reports in the week that Middlesbrough have agreed a £3.2 million deal with Brighton to bring him in, rather fittingly swarmed by seagulls once again. But looks like that deal's going to be happening. It looked like the deal was off at one point this week, it then was back on, and I understand that deal should be completed this weekend, or if not certainly in the next couple of days, which is really exciting, because he's going to add real quality to this team. He's going to come in, he hasn't played a huge amount of football, he's on loan with Italian side Cremonese at the moment, hasn't played much football with them, but he knows exactly what it takes to shine, to thrive at championship level. He got promoted with Ipswich a couple of seasons back. He got promoted last season with Burnley as well, and so for Middlesbrough they would be getting a real player of real quality, real technical quality, and someone who's a real winner, someone who knows how to shine at championship level as well. So he'll be a massive addition, and another player of more quality coming into that attacking fold can only be a good thing. But it does potentially mean, I think, that there'll be decisions to be made on people like Sanjay Hansen, on Sverri Nipan, because I just can't see them getting the required amount of game time that they're going to be happy with going into the second half of the season. So one to watch there. I do think that deal will be done soon. That'll be a really exciting one. I'm really excited to see Sarmiento potentially. He could make his debut next week against Norwich City. I'll be back again for that one, but in the meantime, hope you've enjoyed the match against Preston. Hope you enjoyed the result. Drop into the comments below, let me know what you thought about Middlesbrough's performance, and if you have enjoyed this, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch up with you next time up the Boro.